Hello, this is Charles's non-bearded twin brother covering for him for this video. So starting in Acts chapter 3 verse 1, now Peter and John were going up to the temple at the hour of prayer, the 9th hour. And a man lame from birth was being carried, whom they laid daily at the gate of the temple that is called the Beautiful Gate, to ask alms of those entering the temple. Seeing Peter and John about to go into the temple, he asked to receive alms. So we can see in this beginning of Acts chapter 3 that Peter and John go to this temple to pray, and there's this lame man. That means he's paralyzed, he can't move. That said he was lame from birth, and he was asking for alms because I'm assuming he's poor, and he normally goes to this temple because according to my commentary it seems like that'd be a good place. Probably a lot of people pass by and you can be looking for money and stuff and asking for money. But rather than just God helping this man's condition and giving him money, God has a much better plan to entirely change his condition, make him be able to walk again and also be saved, which is something much more valuable than anything worldly. And Peter directed his gaze at him, as did John, and said, "Look at us." And he fixed his attention on them. Dude, my dog's barking. 1 second. But Peter said, "I have no silver and gold, but what I do have I give to you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, rise up and walk." I find it cool at the second part that any concerns for money was completely thrown out the window. I find it funny that even Peter, the leader of the church, said he had no money for the beggar. But the thing is, he said he had something even more important than money, and that's the power of Christ. And he did have that. And when we have the power of Christ, we should share that to others as well. Giving them money can also be a generous act of love, but what's important is showing them Christ. Now, the beggar was just asking for money, and I think in our lives too we can settle for less than what God actually has in store for us. But thankfully, for those who have experienced the love of God, they know his generosity and can have faith that God will give us even greater blessings that we don't deserve at all. So in verse 7, and he took him by the right hand and raised him up, and immediately his feet and ankles were made strong. Jesus makes us strong, right? And leaping up, he stood and began to walk, and entered the temple with them, walking and leaping and praising God. And all the people saw him walking and praising God, and recognized him as the one who sat at the beautiful gate of the temple asking for alms. And they were filled with wonder and amazement at what had happened to him. So of course the miracle happened, but we need to see how this miracle happened. Peter did not tell the man to get up on his own. Peter actually reached out his hand for him to grab and brought him to his feet. This is a great representation of what the gospel is like. Jesus isn't sitting down with his hands folded telling all of us to go up and climb up and reach him. Jesus reaches his hand out for us, and all we have to do is just take it. It's through Jesus' power that we are saved, and once we grab his hand, he takes us to where we need to go. He brings us to our feet. He gives us strength. All that we need to do is just trust in him and take that hand that's reaching out for us. But the beggar's story with Jesus doesn't stop there, and our story with Jesus doesn't stop there either. He continued to walk with the disciples of God, had fellowship. He praised with them in the temple. He prayed with them, and he used the gifts given to him, his walking again, to glorify God. He's making a great testimony here in verse 9, saying, "And all the people saw him walking and praising God." And also up here, walking and leaping and praising God, entering the temple. Once he was lifted up on his feet, he started his mission of spreading the gospel, glorifying God, and trying to get closer to him. So once we take Jesus' hand, and once we're saved, and once we're back on our feet, we're supposed to use these gifts God's given us to spread the gospel to other people and tell them what we've experienced. And once we're saved, we have the power of God on our side, so it's about time we let him use us. We were healed, but other people need to be healed too.